Hello Stitchy friends, welcome to Starlight Stitching Co. Flosstube video number 40. Hello, my name is Amanda Corbett. Today is September 23rd and I have a new Flosstube video for you today. So I am finally back. I did not mean to take a month and a half long break. I do apologize. Yeah, just life. Things got busy. We went on vacation, then we came back and things got busy again. And it's just been a little bit of a whirlwind lately, so I hadn't found a chance to sit down and make a video. So today I have a lot to show you. I have a couple of knitting finishes, well, one knitting finish, one knitting fail. We'll get into that. I have one fully finished item, one really big finish, and another small stitch finish. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen those. I also have lots of whips, quite a bit of haul, and some fun plans. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I want to start off with the one piece that is covering the bulk of my table. And this is my big finish. If you follow me on Instagram, you have already seen this. So this is my stitch finish of Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I used 32 count raw silver linen from Zweigart, so there's a little bit of a sparkle to it. Hopefully that comes across. I did make my own color conversion and a few changes along the way. So, like for example, the pattern calls for this urn to be, where it's blue, to be left empty and just have the fabric showing through. But I really wanted to fill it in with that striking blue color. I used my own color conversion for this. It is pinned at the top of my Instagram profile, which is also Starlight Stitching Co. And you can find that there. It uses a variety of classic colorworks. As I got closer to the end, some of my classic colorworks colors ran out, so I switched to a similar or the called for DMC. It just depended on the situation. So I was looking for frames for this late last week. Because I stitched it on 32 count, it is absolutely huge, as you can see. And frames for that size are pretty pricey from Michael's or Hobby Lobby, even with a coupon. So rather than spending like $600 on a frame, I ordered a custom sized frame from the Rusty Roof. It comes with plexiglass, not glass, so that helps cut down on the cost. But I am looking forward to having this fully finished and hanging up on my wall very soon. I am so incredibly pleased with how it came out. I had a loose goal of getting it finished by my birthday, September 17th. That did not happen. I was able to get it finished by September 18th though. And I am just so happy with how this turned out. Thousands and thousands of stitches. Lots of love went into this. And I am very excited to get it on my walls. So I will set this giant thing aside. Okay, what next? I guess we can talk about my FFO. I haven't had one of those in a long time. So this is Hygge Holiday by Hands On Design. This was a stitch along with Nicole Spohr and Chantel's 141 Design Company. Chantel had made a very pretty board for this to go on. I chose not to order it mostly because when I started this entirely from stash. It's on a 28 count white opalescent Ada. I don't know if you can see that sparkle in there or not. And I did the blue colorway as called for. And then I found this lovely fabric here that closely matched the taupey color in the leaves. I was trying to pull from that. And I used, this is a board, I think it's from Chantel's 141 Design Company, one of her older boards, or maybe Scarlet Sky Designs TX, I don't remember. It had like shiplap lines on the inside, and, excuse me, every time I start the camera, my nose itches. I don't know why. I just used some craft paint and mixed it to try to get this taupey color, so I think there's like 6 layers of paint on here before I decided I was happy with it, or just plain done with it. I didn't distress it at all. I wanted to leave it simple and clean. So I have this layer with the fabric and some batting. This oval mat board, I cut a rectangle to the size I needed, and then found something that was kind of like an oblong oval shape to trace around for the corners. And that got me pretty close. And then I just kept testing it, laying the fabric on it, trying it out, and adjusting it and trimming it until I was happy with the shape. And then I laced it on here, so I got a nice tight fit. I do think it is a little bit off. Like I see a little bit more of a gap on this side than I do that side, but I'm gonna leave it. And then I also glued some cream rickrack around the edges with hot glue before gluing it to this fabric piece. And I am so thrilled with how this came out. I love it. This is something that I will leave up during winter. It could be winter and Christmas. I haven't stitched the ornaments yet, but I do plan to. So I still have everything all kitted up and together to be able to stitch these ornaments in the matching color. And I have another fabric from this same, or not this collection, another fabric that'll go really great on the back of the ornaments. I already have that on hand for when I'm ready to go on that. So that is my finish on Hygge Holiday. Next up, after stitching Let Love Rain and focusing on it for so long, I feel like it's been absolutely forever since I've had a finish other than Hygge Holiday. And that's because I've spent the bulk of this year focusing on Let Love Rain. I'm pretty sure I stitched 3/4 of that chart all this year. So next up, I picked up Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage. This is a whip that I had on hand already. When I picked it up, I just had like this tiny little corner done. And here is my finish. I believe this is stitched on a 32 count Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit. And I used Southern Fried Floss in the color Spiced Cider. And it has really pretty variegation between like a very pumpkin-y orange and a yellowy orange, and it's so pretty. I just finished stitching this one up last night. I did make a goof on my numbers. I started with the 4 and I made the 4 one stitch too long. So I went ahead and added an extra stitch to the 2 and the 0, but I forgot the first 2. So my number is a little wonky, but guess what? It's gonna stay wonky because I'm not gonna fix it. So this will be fun to get finished up soon. Okay, so that does it for cross stitch finishes. So let's go ahead and talk about my knitting finish and my knitting fail. So my first knitting finish, this is actually a finish and a start. I never even shared it with you. I think I started it shortly after the last video, but this is a Musselburgh hat in, I have absolutely no idea what yarn now. It's a Malabrigo Rios worsted, or a Malabrigo worsted weight yarn. I don't recall the color name, but it's a really pretty like hot pink and orange, reddish color. I have totally finished it. Here it is unfolded. I do still need to block it, and then it'll be ready to gift to my sister for her birthday. Now for my knitting finish and fail. So I knit a sock while I was on vacation. I shared this on my Instagram. The yarn is from 316 Dye Studio. The speckled is called Light Bright. It's actually black light reactive. It's kind of cool. I don't remember what the pink was called. Let's see. Let us see what the pink is called. Material Girl. The pink is Material Girl. And this is just a Crazy Sock Lady vanilla sock. I followed the instructions exactly. So the fail is that it's too small. It doesn't fit. Not just it doesn't fit, it doesn't stretch very well. Now I realize part of that is because I haven't blocked it. But no amount of blocking is going to make this fit my foot. And I think it's a little bit big just to give to my daughter to wear as is. So I think I am actually going to pull this apart and knit a larger size, one that'll actually fit me. And I also think that, especially when I'm doing something new, I notice my knit stitches are super tight. And this is the first time I've ever knit with a size 1 needle, which is really small. So I ended up getting, what are these? I don't know why they always put the sticker over the size every time. And I haven't taken them out of the package yet. A size 2, 2.75 millimeter. I did get a set of size 2 needles so I could try reknitting this using the magic loop method in a larger size. And I think I will also make the cuff a little bit shorter because I don't normally go for a cuff that's quite this tall on my socks. I say that as if I've knit 1,000 socks. This is the first sock I've knit. I did get it done. I completed it. The stitches are pretty, but it doesn't do a whole lot of good if it doesn't fit. And also, I totally got lost on the Kitchener stitch. So my toe does not look very good at all. My toe looks a little rough. But I made it through. I knit a sock. I did it. Now I just need to pull it apart and try again, and maybe I'll be lucky enough to get one that actually fits. Stick that back into my bag. All right, that's it for finishes. What should we do next? What should we do next? I guess let's do knitting whips, since we're already on knitting. I have another Musselburgh hat in process, but this one is in the very starting stages. So I haven't even finished the increase rounds on this one yet. I am using some leftover Malabrigo Rios yarn from last year in the colors Escoria and Cirrus. So this is like a gray green brown color, and this is blues and grays. So I'm going to do a shorter hat that doesn't have the fold up and reversible. So half of it will be in Escoria and half of it will be in Cirrus. And that's mostly just to use up the extra yarn from last year. And then I will have another gift ready for Christmas. So that one will be a Christmas gift. Next up, this is one I've been working on for quite a while. It is the Laurel Shawl by Ewe Knit. E-W-E Knit. And I am stitching this in a Bumblebee Acres yarn called Dragonfly and Amber. It has a little bit of a silver metallic and very autumnal colors. I would love to get this finished soon, but I'm in the lace knitting stages, so that is slow going. I have to pay very close attention to the pattern and the chart, and I'm new at chart reading, but so far it looks very pretty. It's a triangular shaped shawl, which is very hard to show on here. These, what do they call these? The beading stitch rows, where we have these big yarn overs, were a lot easier to stitch than I thought they were. The lace is definitely the harder portion. So here's some of my lace. I can't believe I'm knitting lace. Let's see. I am almost done with the second lace repeat. Then I have one more lace repeat, and then I'll be down to these beading stitches again, and then more lace repeats. So this is not a simple pick up and go round and round. This is I need to have my pattern out, be able to read it and be able to focus on it kind of knitting. But it will be very pretty when it is done, and I am excited to have it done at some point in the future. I just don't know when that'll be. Okay, so let's mix it up a little bit. I'm going to go into some haul. I shared this on my stories when I saw it. This is a Granny Crop Cardigan by MJ's Off the Hook Designs. And I just thought this was so fall and so cute and would look really nice with at least two, if not more, of my autumn dresses that I like to wear. So here's the pattern. It's a crop cardigan. And you're able to get the kit from Mary Maxim. It comes in one of these bags with all of the yarn that you need. The yarn is Mary Maxim Mellow Spun DK, and this is the main color, which is taupe. So this is an acrylic yarn, but it is surprisingly soft. I was really surprised with how soft this acrylic yarn was. It's not like the stuff you get from Walmart. So in the pattern, it has the different combinations. Well, I can't really show that. It has the different combinations of the granny squares that you need to make. So like cream center, the burgundy, the pink, brown center, the burgundy, the cream. Tells you how many or what the color combinations are. And then I figured out how many I needed for my size. And I'm working on crocheting those up. So I have 4 of 1, 2, 3, 4 color combinations, all crocheted up. I still need to weave in the ends on these. I swear, it takes almost as long to weave in the ends as it does to crochet the thing. But it was nice getting back into crochet a little bit. Some of my first ones, I didn't get the centers pulled really tight, so I'll have to fix those. And then I realized they needed to be tighter, so I cinched them up tighter. They start off with a magic ring center. But anyway, it's comforting to get back to some crochet where I am not having to stop and YouTube how to do something for the 15th time, or trying to spend time figuring out how to do this. It's something that I've known how to do for a long time, and it's like back into comfort zone work, which is nice. The Musselburgh hats are pretty much comfort zone now too, because I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on my 5th Musselburgh hat now. So they're pretty much comfort knitting. I usually only have to look up how to start it. I use Knitty Natty's tutorial for how to start the Musselburgh hat with the crochet hook. But after that, it's pretty much comfort knitting at this point. But that is the only project right now that's at that comfort knitting stage, because I have my Laurel shawl where it's the lace, and I have another new start. I shared my sea glass cardigan plans before. I didn't even bring it up because I just barely started the first row and did the first row of 1x1 color work and already screwed it up and have to start over again. So I didn't even bother bringing it up here. If you have any tips for doing 1x1 color work and not screwing it up, let me know. So instead of going main color, contrast color, main color, contrast color, for some reason I did 2 stitches of the contrast color next to each other. And there's nothing else to do but to rip out that row and start over. And since that's like row 3 of the pattern, it basically means starting completely over. So I guess that's where my frustration came in with having to concentrate so hard and figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm sure once I get going, it'll be fine. It's, I guess, just a struggle of learning something new. Learning new things is usually fun. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to my top-down camera view, and we're going to talk about cross-stitch whips and some haul, and I do have a giveaway for today. So give me just a second. Okay, so my first whip that I want to share is Love and Learning by Emily Call. I started this in the spring, and when Handmade by Sarah W. and Stitchy Sarah Reads announced that they were doing a SAL, or starting it for the beginning of school, I decided I was going to pull mine out and stitch with them. Let me make sure it's in frame here. So here is my progress. I did switch up a lot of colors, mostly just to use some of my overdyed stash and some of the Color and Cotton Club threads that I've received. This is stitched on "18-Count Cream and Sugar Ada" by Fiber on a Whim. And these are the threads that I'm using. let me turn on the overhead light. There we go. That's much better. It's a bit gloomy and dreary outside, which I'm loving the cool weather and I don't mind the rain at all, but it does make the lighting a little difficult for Flosstube videos. So here's my progress. I'm working on framing out the house. I have some grass to fill in and the tree to fill in and these flowers. And I think I'm going to leave off this bottom floral border that's below it on the chart, just because I don't think it needs it. I think it will be beautiful without it. And I'm looking forward to having this hanging up in our homeschool area, aka on the wall next to where I'm filming this. It's such a pretty chart. It really is. All right, my next whip is also by Emily Call Stitching, and it's Cozy Autumn Medley. I bought this pattern immediately after she released it because it is just so beautiful. So I printed off the PDF, and here is my progress. I didn't spend a lot of time stitching on it. I was still heavily working on Let Love Rain at that time. And the fabric is 20 Count Embellish by Atomic Ranch. And I have changed some of the threads, again, just to use some more of my Fancy Floss stash. I mean, look at this beautiful rusty bumper color from Southern Fried Floss. And I also, instead of the pale blue, decided to add in some mint julep for a little bit of turquoise in the pattern. You can see it on the crow's bow right there. So still quite a ways to go on this one, but that's okay. I also have kitted up in here a few other charts. So this is part of my haul, Autumn Folk by Hands On Design. And I purchased this from Primrose Cottage and got the floss pack. It did come with the pearl cotton. I put the ball of pearl cotton somewhere where the cat wouldn't be able to get to it. And now I don't know where it is. So I might be tearing my craft room apart trying to find this ball of pearl cotton when it comes time to stitch with it, because I have no idea where it went. I've even completely emptied out and like reorganized all of the drawers in my craft island trying to find this little ball of pearl cotton floss. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Either way, I have it kitted up with some 32 count raw gold linen. As you can tell, the raw gold and the raw silver is one of my favorite fabrics to stitch on. And, oh, this is just a piece of fabric that I have to eventually stitch Autumn by Emily Call Stitching. Am I going to get all this stitched this fall? Probably not. But I'm having fun along the way. Okay, let me just get this all tossed into here so I don't lose it. And then, of course, I also have Rejoice Evermore on the front, which I would love to get back to at some point, but I do not know when. I'm trying to figure out where to set things. Okay, so in here I have my new birthday start. I started this on September 17th. And it is My Blue Heaven by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And I am using Vicki Clayton Silks. So I asked her for a color conversion and she gave it to me, and then I just added it onto this thread card instead of the spools. That way I can just pull off what I need. If it was a color that doesn't require more than one spool, then I did not put the whole spool on here. But I also have this labeled with 20 count Milk and Honey Ada by Fiber on a Whim for my fabric. And this is just a piece of cardstock that I have folded double to make it thicker. And then I use just a regular office hole punch to punch a hole for each one. And then on the back, I have it labeled with the color name that I've converted it to and the symbol. So that makes it super easy to pull off for stitching. I haven't worked with silks a whole lot, so these are very nice to work with. And here is my little start. So this is just, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes-ish of stitching on my birthday. I have the door done as well as the doorstep and this window entirely done, including the back stitch, and I was just working on framing out the roof. But just look at this piece of fabric in comparison to how giant Let Love Rain was, and this will be so much faster to finish, I think. I know there's a lot of lace detail in the pattern, which I'm really looking forward to getting to, and all these beautiful flowers. But I think this is going to be completed with many fewer hours, that doesn't make any sense. A lot less time required to complete this than it took for Let Love Rain, just because it's a smaller chart. But it is also a very beautiful chart. And that is the only project I have in here that I am currently working on. I do have 2 other projects. No, 1. This is all for At Home by Brenda Gervais, which I would also like to get back to. So I'll have to figure out which sampler I want to focus on next. I have At Home by Brenda Gervais and Rejoice Evermore and Land That I Love. So I think I'll have to look at my whips and pick a new one to focus on during the next year, or after I'm done with my autumn stitching. I don't know. Okay, let's get into whips. I've been gone for quite a while, so I have quite a few whips here. So let's start off with the contents from the Fanciful Flamingos My Favorite Things box. It came with this lovely chart for Fall is in the Air by the Camping Stitcher. Cute. It came with some candy corn, which my daughter will love. I think it's disgusting. Candy corn is one of those things that you either love it or you hate it, and I fall into the latter category. This beautiful It's Fall sticker, project bag tag, goldfish rickrack from Lady Dot Creates, some finishing fabric, and all the DMC for the chart. So I just had this all tucked in here together so I could keep it together until I stitch it. And we also received this beautiful Blessed tag. It had like a fuzzy on it. So, it's not a tag, it's a tassel. This Blessed tassel, so I'll have to find somewhere to put that for the fall. I ordered some 32 count raw silver and raw gold linen from 123 Stitch. So here is my raw silver, and I have my other piece of raw gold tucked into my Summer Folk. So I think I have the chart for Spring Folk. That was the first one that came out, you know, that everybody could buy. I'll have to see if I can find it. But Spring Folk and Winter Folk, I'm going to use this raw silver metallic for. And then Summer Folk and Autumn Folk, I am going to use this raw gold. I think that'll look really pretty. With some fabric from Fat Quarter Shop, I ordered the Quilted Snowman cross-stitch chart. I'm a sucker for snowmen, and it's got snowmen and quilt blocks, and I mean, it's just cute. And then Hometown Holiday Sampler by Lori Holt. Quilt blocks, alphabet, Christmassy, but not over the top. I don't know, cute. I don't know if I'm going to stitch that this year or not. The Plum Street Samplers Dear Friends. I ordered this as a kit from Simply Stitching Ocala. So I have all of the called for, looks like it's all Classic Colorworks. Yeah, all Classic Colorworks. It comes with a needle minder and then this cute little chart. So I don't know when I'm going to start this. We'll see if I can get to it this fall. I don't know. Some more haul. Hands-on Design Gather Butterflies. Gather Together. Gather Pumpkins. Feels Like Fall by Brenda Gervais. Gather Blessings. Autumn Swan. In case you can't tell, I've been feeling the autumn vibes for quite a while. I've been ready for fall. Now it's officially fall. And the Crafty Grimalkin Fabric of the Month from Atomic Ranch. I get 20 count Ada, and this is the color Lestrange. It's a very pretty bluish gray. Not quite as vibrant blue as it's showing on camera. It's a little bit more on the gray side, but a very pretty color. Very pretty. Look at that modeling. So good. So good. Okay. And then one last piece of haul. For my birthday, my mom got me this lovely book. It's The Knitter's Book of Knowledge by Debbie Bliss. A complete guide to essential knitting techniques. So, I mean, I don't want to flip through and give away what's in the book, but I'm really looking forward to flipping through this and reading and learning more about knitting, and maybe that will help me not make so many mistakes in the future. We'll see. Don't know. All right. What do we have next? Okay, let me flip back to the forward-facing. I just have one more announcement, and then we'll do our giveaway. If you receive the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, I was honored to be in the autumn issue. If you don't, you should receive it. It's a good, lovely magazine, lots of pretty charts. So this was my contribution to the magazine, and of course it's the theme of camping. My family and I love to go camping as much as we can in the summer, and this piece captures some of those memories. So let's get a good look here. I stitched this on a 20 count navy Ada with one DMC strand, so all of the colors used are DMC. Excuse me. We have our sweet little camper here. Our camper does not look like that. This camper is much cuter. But we have our little camper, a campfire, because you've always got to have a campfire when you're camping. I mean, unless it's 90 degrees, but even then we usually still have a fire at night, because popcorn cooked over the campfire tastes so good. I don't know what it is, but it's way better than cooking it in the microwave or at home. We also have a deer and a raccoon to represent the times that we've seen both of these animals in our area. We have the lake here. We love to be able to camp next to the lake or be able to see the lake really well when we're camping. And you can see the moonlight from the crescent moon reflecting on the lake. Up here we have the Big Dipper and the North Star, because that's the one constellation that I can usually find in the night sky when we're looking up at the stars. I also had a lot of fun with pattern in this chart by adding some pattern detail to the trees and to the grass and to this lovely little border on the bottom. So you could switch it out and not do the pattern in the grassy area, but I don't know. I was just having fun with pattern on this chart. It was a lot of fun to stitch. I kind of wish I had stitched this in a larger format on like a 14 count so you could see all those lovely little details better, and I might end up restitching it at some point later. But I am still really thrilled with how this came out. And I hope you enjoy stitching it as well, if you so choose to do so. All right, next up we have our giveaway. When I was ordering my haul, I had put in one of them as a pre-order with a lot of items, and somehow managed to order 2 copies of Summer Folk and Autumn Folk. I guess I really wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on these charts. So my goof is your gain. These 2 charts will be our giveaway for today. I'll be giving them away together. Please be in the US, please be 18, please like and subscribe to the video, and use the word folk somewhere in your comment, F-O-L-K, folk, and you'll be entered to win both of these lovely charts. Please don't use the words free or giveaway or all the usual Flosstube giveaway rules. All right, that is all that I have to share with you today. I hope to get back onto a every 2-week video schedule instead of taking such a long break. Hopefully I have a little more progress to share with you on the sea glass cardigan. If you have any tips for 1x1 color work for a newbie knitter, let me know. I could greatly use it. And that's all that I have to share with you today. So thank you so much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when the next video comes out. Thank you so much. Happy stitching. Bye.